what are you afraid of? Those feelings are made up. For anyone asking who is the best, we putting our hands up.
4 more kilometers. Oh, there we go! They touched!
This time, like the last time, I'm moving so fast, I'm ready to ride.
Wonky! Down to the inside of Hookie's off!
Passenger throws the block, and he will keep him behind him.
My time. None of you people can tell me to stop. Lower the lights down. Hand over my crown. Hand over my heart. I do this for my town. I do this for my crowd. So turn me up real loud. My time. None of you people can tell me to stop. Turning the track up. I'll never go back down. Hand over my heart. I do this for my town. I do this for my crowd. So turn me up real loud. My time. None of you people can tell me to stop.
Good evening, hello and welcome to the Down Under Graphics Australian 410 Sprint Car Championship. Tonight we head to Eldora for a crucial 5th round in this championship, which after last round's efforts have seen a massive shake-up in the championship points. Hello, my name is Jay Kennedy. Normally alongside me would be Fonty, but he is unfortunately not able to be here tonight, but I'm joined by Corey Ott. Corey, it was an awesome race, awesome amount of racing last round. Tonight we head to Eldora and it's going to be even more action-packed, you feel?
The last round, so hopefully tonight we've got a bit of better and closer racing, maybe a little bit of contact here and there. Yeah,
I think we will see a little bit of fighting, a little bit of action, a little bit of argy-bargy. A little bit of a smaller field as well tonight, as in comparison to last round. So the heat races will be even more important than we saw last round. Only 23 drivers at the moment. Still a few minutes left in this practice session. But the field is extremely tight, extremely close. The times in this practice session are incredibly close.
Yeah, exactly. You've got Joe Berkeley at the moment on top with a 13.315, and you got Aaron Kelly, which is we've only got 2 guys that haven't set a time. Well, sorry, that is 1, but Aaron Kelly's still on the bottom, 13.7. So you've got what would be, if my math is correct, 4 or 5 tenths separating the whole field at the moment. So which is pretty close, and I think would be a prelude to what's going to happen tonight in the heat races and also in the feature.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think we're going to see some real tight, intense racing tonight. The track really suited to making sure the field is nice and tight as the racing goes on. Only one driver in this field at the moment yet to set a lap time, which is Cameron Dance. So, yeah, the rest of the field, 4 tenths of a second separating first through to 22nd at the moment. So we're going to see an incredibly tight night of racing, but we go to the championship standings after we finish the last round, and it's an incredibly tight fight. We saw that we had the top few guys separated by not many points. In fact, there was a tie for first, and third was only 4 points behind. Berkeley now, after getting a better result, it wasn't a great result for Berkeley, but getting a better result than King and Goodyer, who both had horrible final races last week or last round. Berkeley's been able to jump them by 24 points, but James Robbie's been the surprise. He's jumped into second in the championship.
Yeah, exactly. Knoxville, I think a lot of us would say, you know, would be Eldora's a surprising race, but Knoxville really shaped up. It was a sort of a wild card race at the moment in the championship. So, I think Eldora we might see. We'll either see another turn in the championship, or we might just see the status quo.
Definitely going to be a crucial round of this championship with only 2 rounds to go, with 4 rounds in this 6-round championship. This round here tonight, and then in 2 weeks' time, the finale at the dirt track at Charlotte, which is a little bit of an unknown to a lot of drivers in the field. A lot of drivers have driven the track, and there's a lot of other drivers who are yet to even turn a lap at the newest dirt circuit on iRacing. So we're not far away from getting into qualifying, and it's going to be really, really crucial tonight. We're going to see Scott Butler be the first car out, as the drivers just come in for drivers briefing at the moment and get themselves all sorted, ready to go. We're not too far off getting the first car out on track for qualifying. It's going to be a really cool night of racing.
Yeah, exactly. It's a nice small field. You've got a lot of the regulars, a lot of the big guys there, and I think tonight we've only got 2 Dirt Pro drivers. We had 4, I believe, at Knoxville. So those 2 being Dylan Semmelman. I think that'll be still a topic to talk about his last name. I can't still say, and also Cameron Dance as well, which hasn't set a time yet in the practice session. So.
Yeah, so Cam Dance actually sat out the last round of the Pro Series with a bit of an indiscretion from the steward. So he did sit out last round in the Pro Series, and Dylan Simmelman's done a very, very good job, and we will see him really be one to watch throughout the racing tonight. But yeah, there's a few drivers really to watch, but James Rice is probably the name, and Jake Maloney, the 2 names that probably are a bit surprising in regards to the championship. In regards to the practice times, with Maloney in 3rd and James Rice in 4th, are probably a big surprise to them and everyone else.
Yeah, exactly. I think, as you said before about this race being a championship deciding race, it could be, dirt track at Charlotte. It'll be another wild card event, but it being the last event, you don't want it to be one, because, well, there has been races around that track in the late model. I think the Pro Series hasn't gone there yet, but I also do believe a couple of our local dirt series have also gone to the dirt track at Charlotte, I think a couple of weeks ago. But I think around with the 410s, it'll be a very, very different track. It might be the same as Eldora, but without the high banks, and instead of hitting a wall, you hit some track tires on the bottom. So
yeah, really different circuit to every other one as well. So that'll make the racing nice and interesting. We're just waiting for the practice session to hit 0 on the clock, and we'll get the first car out for qualifying for tonight, which will be Scott Butler. Current time for Butler puts him in 21st in this warm-up session. And we'll now get ready to go with Butler, the first car out on the track.
Yeah, exactly. It'll be first 3 drivers out on the track tonight for qualifying would be Scott Butler, AJ Neben, and Dylan Sellerman. Actually, sorry, AJ Neben is not here tonight. No, he's not. So we could have had 3 pro drivers, but only sadly 2 have arrived tonight. But Scott Butler would be coming out on track very shortly, but not appearing yet, as seems.
Yeah, just drivers are still in drivers briefing at the moment, just getting confirmation of them being ready to go out on track. Don't forget, we do have live timing up on our website as well at v8online.com/live timing. My apologies in advance too if my voice does go. I've got a little bit of a nasty cold, and it's hit me pretty bad. in the last few hours. So quickly go through the weather as well for the drivers out there. Late afternoon conditions. The air temp 32 degrees, track 32 as well. So no wind at all, so won't affect the circuit at all in that aspect. And we are ready to go with our first car out on track. As we said, Scott Butler, the first one to go. And he'll have the circuit all to himself for 2 flying laps.
Yeah, I think he's waiting for admin to give him the go. He's waiting at pit exit, so the circuit, the track state has been set to clean. So during this qualifying session, as every qualifying session, the more cars go out on track, the more track that gets weighed in, and we'll start to see times. I think maybe a couple of the fast guys are towards the end of the qualifying order, so we could see a mix-up in the qualifying order after these. In the orders after the time trial, as Scott Butler heads out on track. So 410 sprint cars, very, 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 very hard to control, even though they've got big wings and such, and just taps the wall on his warm. But here we go, on to lap 1. Turn 1 he goes very low. Oh, a lot of angle there, but very low. You'll see a lot of guys use that low line before it starts to wear out into 3 and 4. Keeps the high line, drops down to the middle. First lap is a 13.7. Lap 2, look at that, lower down is through 1 and 2, and I think 3 and 4 he'll stay high. Well, he'll go low. Gets it nice and close to that wall there. Comes out of 4. What will Willie?
Much better lap.
13.428. So our next person out on track would be
Dylan Simmelman for Team VLR. He'll go out in the number 1. And we saw the pace from Simmelman last round at Knoxville was incredibly good, and no doubt we'll see him up the pointy end at the end of the night if he can keep it out of trouble. See what he can do on this first flying lap, and running a very, very wide line, very close to the outside wall. But the momentum has really carried very, very well through into 3 and 4. First lap about the same as Butler's first lap. The 13.7 comes back down low for the second lap. This looks like it will be very, very quick, this second one. I'm going to see, I reckon, a 13.2 or a 13.3. 13.402 just pips Butler by 0.02 of a second. Jock Goodyear, the next driver out.
Jock Goodyear, as you say. So I think at the moment, after 2 cars, the favourite line is lap 1 run it high, lap 2 run it low. But Jock Goodyear completely puts everything down on the ground from that statement as he runs low through 1 and 2 on his first lap. 3 and 4 does the exact same. First lap, I think we might do the same as, no, 13.425. Oh, just taps the wall through 1. But I think, no, he still continues on. 3 and 4, and God, he's getting so close. That wall comes down to 4. Time will be a 13.420. Wow.
So improved on the second lap, but only just. And we'll slot into second position. Next driver out will be Daniel Gowan, the 22 machine for Synergy Sim Racing, just about to start his flying lap. Gow probably not overly happy with his performance. He's got great pace, but just hasn't been able to finish the events off. He'll be looking to improve throughout this round as we move forward. And good first lap, good banker lap of a 13.5. We'll see what he can do on the second lap. Looking to get it down. Will we see a 13.3? Doesn't improve on the second lap. A little bit slower. Probably lost a little bit of momentum coming out of turn 4. You slot into 4th position. Next driver out will be Trent Gosling.
Trent Gosling's actually he's already on his flying lap through 3 and 4, keeping it high. I think he might do the Silverman line here. Lap 2 goes middle, but does lower down. So I think that bottom line is starting to fade out a bit, or they're just not wanting to use that low line as he comes around. Lap 2, get a 13.4. His first one didn't count, so 13.414 puts him P2 at the moment.
Yep, very, very close as well between he and the rest of the field. Next driver out will be Vince Romeo for Pinnacle Sim Racing, the newest team in the dirt side of things in the AusNZ community. Expanded from the Middle Finger Racing outfit. They've broken away their dirt guys and decided to do their own thing. And Romeo now using the low line on this first lap. We'll see what he can do. It's a decent first lap, a 13.4. See what he can do on the second one. Probably lost a little bit too much coming out of 2. Ran a little bit too wide, I feel. See what he can do in the 3 and 4. He's able to keep the momentum up. Actually goes slower on the second lap. First lap counts with a 13.475.
Exactly. Now I think
Brad Cooper. Oh, and he's hit the wall. So that is his first lap not going to count. He's going to push on and he'll do the second lap.
Yeah, well,
hopefully his car's not too damaged.
He's got damage on his front wing there, so he might be very slow, but it'll be something at least to put him in the heat somewhere through 1 and 2. I think this would only be a safe lap for him. No, trying to get as close to the walls as he can. Through 3 and 4. What will that put him? 13.492 puts him second to last, P number 6.
Actually not too bad a time when you compare it to Daniel Gow's lap, so he slots in to the rear of the field as we've got Brenton Hobson out on track, just starting his flying lap. We'll see what he can do. Hobbo has not had any luck in this series other than bad luck. He slots into 6th on his first lap. Wouldn't have it any other way. See what he can do on the second lap.
Well, actually, it's a tie for 5th. Sorry, Jay. So
yep. Doesn't improve on the second lap, so that's a 13.5 on his second one. 13.475, exactly the same lap time as Inch Romeo, but he does slot in behind due to the hidden mystery number that we can't see. The next driver out is Bailey Hall.
Bailey Hall's got a last round at Knoxville. He had some pace, but wasn't really up the top end of the field. He was being consistently in the mid pack, maybe down towards the lower end, but comes into 3 and 4 in his second lap. His first one didn't count, so let's see what he does here. Will it place him 13.598, puts him dead last, P9 at the moment in the field. And Aaron Kelly is now out on track.
Yeah, Aaron Kelly, the next driver out. We'll see what he can do on his 2 flying laps. We're flying through these tonight, which is great. A smaller field as well, so we'll get the racing action now happening very, very quickly. But Kelly using that high line on the first lap, that is not a quick lap. We'll see if he can come back with a very, very good one on the second one. That looked pretty good through 1 and 2. Maybe lost a little bit of pace coming out of 2 though. Had to straighten the car up. Looked good through 3 and 4, but just lost momentum coming out of 2, and that's cost him a bit of time. He slots into 9th position, just ahead of Bailey Hall, but behind Daniel Gow.
And now Scott Griffiths, another Synergy Sim racing car, starts his first of 2 flying laps in the pink and numbered 63 mobile, and at the moment it just looks like a nice, clean, steady lap, trying to get his speed build up for the lap 2. This puts him 13.617 at the moment. Back of the field, 1 and 2. He's going up the track and down like other guys have been going there through 3 and 4. Keeps it nice and low. Out of 4, what will it be? 13.632 doesn't improve. Puts him at the moment P11.
Tim Harris is due to be the next driver out, but also not here tonight. So Joel Berkeley will be the next driver out on the circuit, just starting his flying lap for TTL Esports. And just clipped the wall there coming into 3. So this lap will not count. We'll see what he does on his next lap. This does look much better for Berkeley. What can he do? He crosses the line, and I tell you what, this is close between him and Semmelman. He just pips him by 0.002 of a second.
The first 13.3 we've seen tonight just pips
Jordison. Jordison just clipped the pit wall, the inside wall, at turn 1 and 2, and he will continue on to get a second lap in, but that has really, really hurt his run.
Yeah, that turn 1, you try and go as low as you possibly can, and sometimes, clips the wall through 4 starting his second lap. But that turn 1 in pit lane, you think, I'll just cut it down here a little bit, but that wall, the exit pit wall, and blows his engine.
Yep. He's going to have to start from the rear of the field. Is Jordison. That's not the best run for him. Next driver out will be Cameron Dance. And Cam, we know, has not had much luck in qualifying. His race pace and his ability to pass cars is quite good, but he just can't get the qualifying run down pat. We'll see what he can do with starting this high run on this first lap. Cuts it back in through 3 and 4 to start his second flyer. The second lap looks like it's going to be key for all of these guys who are running late in this run. He slots right into the mid-pack on that first lap. Pretty decent first lap time of a 13.49. What will we see on this lap? Another 13.4. He will move up a couple of spots. Slots into 6th position. Does Dance? No, stays in 8th position. Second lap was slower.
Yeah, very surprising there from Cam Dance. But as you said before, he's not a qualifying man. He's a sort of a race man. But the Lachlan Smith and another Synergy Sim Racing car, if I can get their name out correctly. First lap, 13.4. Not too bad of a first lap. Pips out Cameron Dance, but will his second lap go better or will it be worse? Comes through turns 3 and 4. Car down nice and low on the dirt surface. 13.515. Doesn't go fast the second lap, so bit of a trend I can see here, Cam. Jay. First lap really fast, second lap not that fast, as we now have Bob King out on circuit.
I think it depends on the line that these guys are trying to run. Some guys are running and setting up a really quick second lap, and it's working for some and not for others, but King's first lap looks fairly slow in comparison to everyone else running that high line. This second lap, though, really, really shallow through 1 and 2, looked really good. Used all of the circuit coming out of turn 2. Looks very, very quick. He will slot up right at the pointing end of the timing sheets into 6th position. Only 0.03 of a second off the first position of Berkeley.
Yeah, that's very, very, very quick time, but at the moment, Gavin Sadler will be the next out on track.
Glenn Ince, actually the next driver out for Pinnacle Sim Racing in the 44 car. Just starting his first flying lap right now. Actually just done his first flying lap of a 13.6.
Second lap, will it be fast? Will it be slow? Turn 3. Gets it low. Beautiful line there, but will it go faster? Yes. 13.591. Now we have Gavin Sadler out on track.
Yep, number 71. He'll be looking to get a bit of momentum going forward in this championship. He had a fair bit of bad luck as well throughout this championship, but one of the biggest supporters of the dirt racing scene in Australia and New Zealand is Gavin, and does a lot of work behind the scenes in other series. First lap, 13.5. Slots into 13th position. We'll see if he can get a big improvement on this second lap. This looks much, much smoother, but it's not going to be quicker. 13.5 as well. 13.561. Slots in just behind. Next driver out will be... Not sure who the next driver out is. James Rice.
Another BK Designs car. 13.7 is his first lap. You can see Bob King hosts the series and also does a lot of paint, so he's what we call a very active man in the dirt community. Lap 2, James Rice, 13.466, puts him 8th. That was a pretty quick second lap for that one.
Yeah, great second lap there. Darren Brumfield just starting his first flying lap. And see what he can do. He's running this high line. We've seen quite a lot. Running high for the first lap, running low for the second. So it's in the 19th position on the first lap. The second lap looking a little bit better. Looked good through 1 and 2. Used all of the track coming out of 2. This looks really good. Decent lap time. Slot right into the mid-pack there. Into 11th position for Brumfield. Good lap.
Yeah, exactly. It's all of these guys are sitting really slow first laps. Their second lap is 2 or 3 tenths faster, and now light blue going on green TCL Christina Lewis Hewitt. Start to finish his first flying lap 13.686. Second lap, what will he pull out? Would be surprised if he goes slower. Come through 3 and 4. Nice and smooth. What will it be? 13.441 puts him P7.
2 drivers left to go. James Robbie, the next driver out in the number 41 machine. See what he can do. He's running this high line again for lap 1. See what he can do. It's going to come down to the second lap because his first lap 13.7. A little bit off the pace. What will he do on this second lap? Robbie using that familiar line that we've seen for the second lap. Hugging it nice and low. 13.5 on the second lap. Very, very good lap time. And he slots into 16th position. Last driver out. Jake Maloney for TTL Esports.
Yeah, this time it's a black and orange, but an orange and black TTL car. So Maloney gets out of 2 for his first flying lap. He's I think at the moment, Joel Berkeley is uncontested. No one else will get him because there's only 1 car left. 13.70 in his first lap. So I'm guessing Maloney, the status quo at the moment, has been bid packed in the qualifier this late. Comes out of 4. What will it be?
Good lap.
4.23. Slots in P5.
Good job from Maloney there. So Berkeley, the only time in the 13.3s, a 13.399. Then Simmelman only 0.02 of a second off. Trent Gostley 3rd. Jock Goodyear 4th. Maloney 5th. Butler 6th. Bob King 7th. Lewis Hewitt 8th. Lachlan Smith 9th. And James Rice rounding out the top 10. Top 10 separated by 0.06 of a second. Incredibly close throughout this field.
Just amazing close stuff. And I think someone else must have set a lap there.
Yeah, we just had another lap. It was, who did we have blow up? Was it Jordison? Jordison just did got 1 lap in, I believe.
Yeah, good. He's 1 lap in. So he put a 13.5 in, so that would
put him in 18th position. But we are now moving on to heat number 1. Already, we're flying through this already tonight, and it won't take long before we get our first starting grid up on screen. And it is as follows. Berkeley will start from pole with Jock Goodyear in 2nd, Bob King in 3rd, James Rice 4th. 5th position will be Darren Brumfield, Daniel Gower in 6th, Gavin Sadler 7th, Bailey Hall in 8th position with 8 cars in the field. It's going to be a very, very entertaining race number 1.
Exactly, race 1. So as usual, the heat format, 8 laps for each heat. Consolation, I believe, from Knoxville was 10 or 12 laps, and then a 30 lap main to finish it off for the night. So 887 is the number of cars we had for each heat tonight. No 4th heat at all, due to there being not a lot of cars, and I think we're just about to head out on a pace lap on our first of 2 pace laps here tonight for the first heat.
Yep, 8 lap heats as well, so 3 heats of 8 laps. No cautions throughout the heats, and also the B main. A main will be for 30 laps, and cautions will be on, and the laps will count as well. So as long as we get a bit of green flag running in the main, we will be very, very happy, because it's been when we've had some green flag running, the racing has been incredible in the A mains throughout this championship, and probably not quite as clean as we would have hoped. A few races have had some very, very clean moments, but for the most part, the championship's been very, very clean as well. Very, very sporting. Most of the drivers in the field as well.
Yeah, very, very clean series. That there hasn't been a lot of very, very dirty slide jobs and all that. Very clean, very respectful. A lot of these guys. So I think we should now be rolling off here soon.
Yep, just waiting for the last driver to jump on the grid, which is Daniel Gow. Looks like he's missed the start, unfortunately. He's got some sort of technical issues, so he will not take the start as they go behind the iRacing pace truck. And we get ready to go. Green flag racing in 2 laps time. Remember, we do have live timing up on our website as well throughout the entirety of this and all of our broadcast events. advanceonline.com/live timing. Berkeley and Goodyear on the front row. So TTL Esports 1 and 2. Bob King for Synergy Sim Racing in 3rd. And then James Rice in 4th. Very, very stacked heat. And we saw in the warm-up session, James Rice had some really good pace. And this heat shows that very, very strong field in this one.
Very strong. A lot of guys actually in the practice session were in the 3s, but no one could do it on the 2-lap time trial we had before. But here we go. iRacing Pace Track is off, and Joel Berkeley will go. Massive start there. A good start as well. Everybody else left in the dust to come out of turn 2.
And Darren Brumfield already through and into 4th position ahead of James Rice. So Rice has got it all to work for now. He's got to work hard to get that position back. Berkeley, Goodyear, King and Brumfield, the current top 4. Top 4 transfer through to the main. And Brumfield's got a massive run on the outside. Contact between he and King. But Brumfield looks very, very strong.
Oh, King had a little bit of a slide job there into Brumfield. And Brumfield drops back to last at the moment. Oh, there's a bit more netcode contact in the back.
Yep, contact between Sadler and Bailey Hall. So Brumfield now has gone from making it through. He's got everything to play for now. He's got to work really hard. Bob King's in a little bit of trouble here, I feel. James Rice closing up very, very quickly. Darren Brumfield in the pits. He's out of the race, so that's unfortunate for Brumfield. But Goodyear and Berkeley, they're broken away. Bob King doesn't look overly comfortable in saying that he's just set the fastest lap of the race. James Rice looks settled and looks a little bit vulnerable. Looks like he might be able to pass King. Sadler's dropping off a little bit as we've got 3 laps to go.
Yeah, Bob King is looking like the line through 1 and maybe through 3. It looks like he's trying to get Goodyear, and see Goodyear does a little bit of defending move, but all of them are running that middle to low line. But you'll see, and I'm guessing also in the A-main will be that high line for everyone. But now Rice is looking very, looks like he wants to pass King, and King's very vulnerable here at the moment. It's a very tight 3-way battle here as we start our last lap.
Yeah, Jock Goodyear's actually getting a little bit of pressure from behind as well, but looks like the front 4 will be settled. Berkeley will come around turn number 4 to win heat number 1, round number 5 of the Australian 410 Sprint Car Championship. Goodyear 2nd, Bob King 3rd, James Rice in 4th position. Results up on screen. Berkeley, Goodyear, King, Rice, Sadler, Hall and Brumfield. Daniel Gow did not take the grid. Brumfield, that's unfortunate for him because he was doing a great job at the start there, so he'll be a little bit disappointed about how that one played out. Starting grid for Heat 2 on screen with Dylan Simmelman starting from pole. Jake Maloney, good job from him in qualifying, starting in 2nd position. Lewis Hewitt 3rd, Vince Romeo in 4th position. Cameron Dance 5th, James Robbie 6th, Aaron Kelly in 7th position, and Scott Griffiths, the last of our 8 cars in this field. The driver's already ready to pull away.
Yeah, this heat's got 3 TTL cars, and this one there's not a SSR whitewash as some of the heats are like, but yeah, SSR I think have got 6 or 7 cars here tonight, so hopefully we see every single one of those cars and also all the TTL cars in tonight into the A-main to see what could be Knoxville Part 2 with the SSR 3-wide roadblock, but we've still got the heats to do in the B-main, so we'll see what will happen as we roll around to start our 1 to green lap. So a lot of the guys are top 4 at the moment. Well, on the first 2 laps you'd have your top 4 trying to defend, but yeah, very, very, what I think we could say this is the most competitive heat so far tonight.
Yep,
this is the strongest heat.
This is probably the strongest heat of the night. It's probably the most open out of our 3 heats. Simmelman, Maloney, Hewitt, Romeo, Dance, Robbie and Kelly all very, very strong. And Scott Griffiths also shows some form every now and again too. So out of these 8 cars, any of them could get through. Green flag flies, top 4 go through. Who is going to make it through? Big contact already. Is Cameron Dance already in contact with him and James Robbie. And at the front, Lewis Hewitt side by side with Vince Romeo and Jake Maloney. Lap 1 complete. Simmelman's broken away, but everyone else, we're 5 wide coming into turn 1.
Dance is really wanting it because you can see there he's right close behind James Robbie. There's 3 wide through 3 and 4. Or Dance doing the one goes very, very, very low. Can he get the move done? Yes, big slide job. Oh, doesn't get it done though.
Yeah, James Robbie saw him coming and come back through, but Vince Romeo's under a little bit of pressure here. Romeo's going to struggle to hold on here. Cameron Dance cuts back to the inside.
Oh, 2 for 1, no! Splits him in the middle.
Romeo in the fence.
On the wall.
So now James Robbie's in the transfer spot. It is on between Robbie and Dance, though. Who is going to come through halfway through this race? 3.5 laps to go. At the moment, James Robbie has the advantage. But Cameron Dance looking to do everything he can. And don't discount Aaron Kelly from this too. Big slide up, almost contact. 3 to go.
Aaron Kelly's trying to do some Cam Dance slide jobs on Cam, but I think Cam will have to do a slide job as soon as we come around for what would be 2 laps to go. 2 to go. Dance looking for it. He's got to do another slide job, but he's keeping that middle line. I think he's waiting for that last lap because at the moment there's no point trying to do a slide job because you might lose all your momentum. But from behind Romeo, trying to do a little slide job, but that's not from the transfer. Here we go. Dance on the final lap. Slide jobs. No,
James Robbie's going to cut back. At the front, Simmelman, Maloney and Hewitt go through, but who is going to go through? There's contact!
There's contact!
And Robbie's going to get the spot. What a heat.
Wow. That was something right there for that transfer spot.
So Simmelman wins that one from Jake Maloney. Good job from Maloney there in that race. That was a really good drive from him. Lewis Hewitt finishes in 3rd. He will actually start the main from pole position as well with the way the invert has worked. James Robbie has gone through in 4th position. Dance, Kelly, Romeo and Griffiths, those guys will have to do it from the B main. As we go to our final heat, grid is as follows: Trent Gostley, Scott Butler, Lachlan Smith, Brenton Hobson. And then we've got Brad Cooper, Dale Jordison and Glenn Ince. The 7 drivers in this one. This is going to be another interesting heat. Quite a few drivers who have the potential to get through.
Yeah, exactly. I think 5 or 6 of the 7 cars in this heat can go through, but they've only got 4 spots to play with. So at the moment you got SSR covering 3rd and 4th in this heat. So could we see a bit of SSR roadblocks or not? But as we've seen in the at Knoxville, the SSR boys, when they get together and race a bit hard, they don't really like to follow quote-unquote team orders. So
there was definitely no team orders at SSR. They're there to race. They're there to race hard, and they're there to race as you should. You should always be racing hard, and especially in this sort of format. So it's always entertaining to watch the SSR guys go at it. But Gostley at the front, he will lead this field away into the restart zone right here. He can go from any point he likes. Away he goes, and a good jump at the front. Lachlan Smith's gone with them, and Hobson. Oh, contact between Hobson. And also, that's Scott Butler and Lachlan Smith. Massive, massive slide coming into turn 3. Just holds on. But have a look at Dale Jordison straight up and into position number 4. Contact between Brad Cooper and Brenton Hobson. Hobson's gone all the way back to 6, and he's got it all to do now.
Oh, and Butler loses a couple positions there using the high line, but wow, it's an about to say 6 car making a 5 car battle now for 2nd.
And Hobson now back into 4th position after the contact with Brad Cooper. Cooper's all the way back down the field, and almost contact between Hobson and Butler again. This is intense. Gostley at the front. Oh, Hobson's hit the wall. Massive contact. That's Scott Butler and Brad Cooper and Brenton Hobson all out of this one. That was a huge impact. Hobson's going to try and limp around, but that was a big, big, heavy hit to the wall. With Gostley out in front now, he's got clear track ahead. He's going to do this one fairly easy, you would think. Hobson just moves out of the way. He will go a lap down, but Gostley, Smith, Jordison and Ince, these guys will all go through to the A main directly from this race. Lachlan Smith hasn't let Gostley go. He's starting to close that gap don't know if there's a lap time left, as he's just set the fastest lap on the race with 2 to go. White flag in the air. This is the last lap. Gosling has done everything right in this one, though. Led it from the start and will go from green to checkers out in front.
Yeah, and I think Hobbo was going around trying to keep his 5th position from the heat, but as Gosling comes across the line to win, Lachlan 2nd, Jawson 3rd, Ince P4, and well, that was something of heats right there. Just that last heat sort of fermented what could happen in the A main tonight.
Exactly right. Anything can happen and often does in these races as Gosling, Smith, Jordison and Ince go through to the A main directly. We will have Hobson, Butler and Cooper in our B main, which is up right now. And Sadler will start from pole with Cameron Dance in 2nd, Brenton Hobson in 3rd. Bailey Hall will start from 4th position. Aaron Kelly in 5th with Butler in 6th. Brumfield 7th, Vince Romeo in 8th position. Brad Cooper 9th, Daniel Gow in 10th and Scott Griffiths in 11th position. Not 100% sure how many go through. I do believe it is 8, but I...
Yes, it is 8.
Okay, thank you for confirming that.
It's alright, yeah, eight cars go through, so 3 will be sent home after this one, so meaning that we'll have a full 20 car feature tonight for 35 laps around Eldora tonight, so 15 lap B main and a 35 lap A main tonight.
So we've still got 50 laps of racing to go. We've not even halfway through when you count the laps, which is awesome. We're going to have some really cool racing, especially if that last heat there was anything to go by. Just proves that anything can happen in these races, and often does. It's a strange beast, this sort of racing, especially if you're new to it. It's a totally different animal to anything else we broadcast. It's so short and sweet and action-packed the whole way through. As Gavin Sadler and Cameron Dance lead the field away for these 2 pace laps. 11 car field. I don't believe Scott Butler has taken to the grid. And Brenton Hobson also is dropping to the back of the field. So I'm wondering if Hobson has been issued a penalty from that last race. That is very, very possible that he has been given one.
And that was, Stewart's would have looked at that, and Hobbo and Butler were both given EOLs, so... Are they both... Is Butler out on track at the moment?
No, Butler's not started the race, so he's actually just in the pits now, so hopefully he can get out there, but he will lose a lot of time. As we said, though, top 8 can go through, so even starting from the pits, he still will have a chance because anything can happen. We see an incident like we saw in that last heat, and instantly you could find yourself in that 8th position. So here we go. Sadler will take the green flag. Dance jumps with him. Away we go for 15 laps in this B main. Top 8 go through.
Top 8 go through. Only 3 cars go home tonight. They come through.
Oh, big hit, Romeo. Oh, there's contact between him and Scott Griffiths as well, and Hobson just avoided contact there. At the front, though, Dance is applying a lot of pressure to the back of Gavin Sadler.
Putting the blowtorch on him at the moment. And who is that? Slide job from Gow. Oh, just a little bit of tap and he goes on.
Dance through, though. Good move on Sadler. Side by side into turn 3. Will we be able to see Sadler come back? Did get the position for a moment, but Dance through. Sadler's not giving this up easily, though. It is on for the lead in this one.
3 wide battle for the lead. You got Dance, you got Sadler, you got Hall.
Scott Butler is out of the race after that contact between he and Scott Griffiths. Cameron Danso is breaking away at the front. Top 8 look fairly settled. Vince Romeo currently in 8th, although Brenton Hobson is coming and coming fast. I actually believe that Vince Romeo has got a meatball flag because his lap times have not been counting.
Well, if he does, then he'll either get DQ'd or they...
Yeah, there we go. He's pulling over now. So Hobson now clears up into 8th position. So that confirms it with Romeo pulling aside. We go back to Daniel Gow. We'll see if he can get past Bailey Hall because Gow is looking quite quick at the moment.
Yeah, Gow wouldn't mind a bit of a podium from the B main here to cement his place into the A main tonight, but you can see that high line is starting to shape up and we've still got we're only halfway through the B main. We've still got another 45, 50 laps of racing left tonight, so we'll see him abusing that wall. We might see no more wall up there tonight if they run it down, but at the moment, Gow, I think, is starting to fall into the hands of Kelly here for 4th place.
Yeah, well, Aaron Kelly just set the fastest lap of the race. We'll see this time around he once again sets the fastest lap of the race. So Aaron Kelly is on it here and starting to apply pressure. Goes to the inside, going to try and slide up. And he's going to get it done, is he? No, Gowie sees him coming. They're going to go side by side across the start line. Daniel Gow now will have to try and slide back.
And then Kelly goes, oh, thanks for the inside line. They're side by side again into turn 3. Gow gives it up. Kelly nearly hits the wall.
Oh, big hit!
Oh, they're together.
Both into the fence, and Aaron Kelly's gone. Aaron Kelly is out of this race. Scott Griffiths will go through. That's a massive, massive incident. And that changes who will get through into the A main.
I think at the moment only 8 cars are now running in this race at the moment. I think yes it is, because Griffith is the last one on the track and will go through. So there you go. It does not take a lot to get into the top 8, but at the moment it looks to be that now Hall and Sadler's heated up for P2. Side by side, nearly hitting with 1 more lap to go now. Hall gives up the place for P2, or gives up the battle, maybe not, into turn 3, side by side, maybe Hall to the inside but won't get it. So there you go.
So Cameron Dance picks up the win in the B main. Sadler does finish in 2nd in the end, Bailey Hall in 3rd, but a lot of controversy back in the field between Daniel Gow, Aaron Kelly, also Vince Romeo, Scott Butler. So be a lot of talking points post-race in that one. So the drivers now will get out there and have a little bit of a warm-up before the next race, which is our A main. Dance wins the B main, though, over Sadler. Bailey Hall in 3rd. Brumfield in 4th. Brad Cooper in 5th. Brenton Hobson was involved in all of the action in that one. Finishes, believe it or not, in 6th position. Scott Griffiths in 7th and Daniel Gow in 8th. Somehow Gow managed to get through, but there'll be a bit of talking post that race about how that all played out. Aaron Kelly, Vince Romeo, and also Scott Butler, their night is done. So, drivers, as we said, out on track for a 3-minute warm-up session just to get acclimatised with the changing track conditions. Some drivers haven't been out on track for 4 races, so just a chance to get themselves comfortable, get their equipment set up, make sure they're ready to go. We're 2 minutes away from the A main. Who's your money on tonight, Corey?
Oh, that's a very hard question to ask, but I don't know. It's 6 or 7 cars that you can say would win tonight, because they're all very close with the lap times, and as you saw from the B main, you know, it's not really that hard to gain places, and 20 cars, 35 laps around Eldora, I think we might see a bit of argy-bargy at lap 1.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think we'll see a lot of argy-bargy and a lot of push and shove. It's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out, and there is race control here as well. So when we do have incidents that bring out cautions, we do see drivers thrown to the back of the line as well. So if you do cause an incident that brings out a caution, you can be given an end-of-line penalty and sent to the back. And we have seen, excuse me, we have seen that play out throughout this championship, and it has changed a lot of races with that incident, those incidents occurring. So hopefully we see a very, very clean race coming up in about a minute's time. Simmelman, Hewitt and Goodyer fastest in this warm-up session. Track is very, very different from what we saw in the time trials earlier, around about 0.4 of a second slower. So the drivers will be getting acclimatised to that now, as we said, and it'll really change how the drivers tackle the circuit coming up for the race in a couple of moments.
You can see that very, very slick line there in 1 through 2, and also the entry at turn 3 will be a very big factor tonight, because the entry of that turn 3, it's sort of a very good spot, because you can set overtakes up into turn 1, which is like the slide job capital of the world at the moment tonight. But I think as well that as that high line goes up and up and up the track, you'll see maybe the fence being brought down later on in the feature here tonight.
So checkered flag is now out for this warm-up session, and we will get ourselves all ready for this main event. It's going to be a very, very hotly contested one. I don't want to put a moz on anyone. The last time I picked a winner, I ruined their race, so I won't do that this week. But starting grid will be as follows. If I actually click on the right thing, there we go. Actually do the things right, it actually works. As we said before, Lewis Hewitt will start from pole. Bob King in second position. Lachlan Smith in third, with Jake Maloney in fourth. He'll be very, very happy with that qualifying position for this one. Jock Goodyear in fifth, with Trent Gosling in sixth position. Dylan Simmelman in seventh. Joel Berkeley in eighth. Those guys are going to have a little bit of work to do in this one. Here, ninth position will be Dale Jordison. James Rice rounds out the top 10.
And in 11th position is James Robbie. P12 is Glenn Ince. P13 is Cam Dance. 14th is Gavin Sadler. 15th is Bailey Hall. 16th is Darren Brumfield. 17th is Brad Cooper. 18th is Brendan Hobson. 19th is Scott Griffiths. And rounding out your field is Daniel Gow.
20 cars, 35 laps. And as we said as well, cautions do play a factor in these races as well. So fingers crossed that we see a fair bit of green flag running. Be great to see how Berkeley and Semmelman make their way through the field as well, coming from that fourth row up to the front. But Lewis Hewitt, another championship contender at the front of the field. It's going to really spice up how this championship plays out, with contenders all mixed out throughout this top 10.
Exactly. It's going to be like I said at the start of the night, either going to be a status quo for the front runners, or it's going to be another wildcard event as we come through turn 3 for the iRacing pace track to pull off here and set 24 10 sprint cars alight. And here we go. We are green. Hewitt with a good jump there on Bob King, and they're already 3 wide for third at the moment. No argy-bargy. I think they're nearly 4 or 5 wide there midfield, but turn 3.
Bob King through though. Change for the lead. Lewis Hewitt coming back up the inside, side by side. And yeah, we've got a car around Darren Brumfield. We stay green though, and Hewitt is back clear. No caution is out. I believe Daniel Gow is the car. No, Trent Gosling is the car that has come into issues. See if we can pick up a replay as to what has gone on there to Trent Gosling for the first time tonight. We can actually show some replays. It's always the positive thing about having cautions in these races. We actually get a chance to show a replay.
We don't want a race full of showing replays, Jay.
No, we don't. But it is nice to show one when something happens. There's contact between the 99 car, which is Dale Jordison, and Trent Gosling. Gosling has retired from the race. He is race done. Unfortunate for him, but we'll see if Jordison does get penalised for that one. Now, my apologies as well. My voice has decided to pack it in. I'm going to keep pushing on till it's completely gone. There's not much left, though.
You've done a me, Jay. Instead of losing the voice at the start, you've lost it halfway through the broadcast, haven't you?
I knew it was going to be a struggle the whole way through. Glenn Ince is the one that's been penalised, so that was before we saw the contact. There must have been another part to that incident. Darren Brumfield, as we said as well, was having issues coming out of turn 3 and 4 on lap 1, and he's getting himself back up into position as well.
And Bailey Hall also being given a EOL as well, so at the moment we've only got 1 driver out, 2 have been given EOL, and we are getting close to 30 laps to go, and I think we should have we either have 1 or 2 to green this time by. Sorry, it is 1 to green. Pace truck lights are out. Single file up the top. Here we go. Pace truck turns into pit lane. First restart of the night. We are green. Hewitt leads the pack into turn 1.
Good jump. Jake Maloney's doing a great job currently in 3rd position, but side by side with Jock Goodyear and Lachlan Smith. Dylan Zimmerman already up into 4th position as well. He's gained 4 spots on that first lap alone. Cameron Dance also trying to make his way through the field as they're side by side with he and James Robbie.
Wall!
Oh, big wreck. Big wreck. That was Bob King, Lachlan Smith, and also Dylan Zimmerman. Some of our big contenders in this race are out.
Gone.
Zimmerman is out of the race.
There you go, there's a big contender for the win out and gone, so...
Well, 2 contenders gone with Bob King out as well.
So there you go, I think his championship hopes might be done and dusted after that one. That's 2 bad results he's had. He wouldn't have wanted to have them, but sadly they haven't. I do have to say though, that incident, he just slid a bit too high through one and the wall just said, yeah, I'll have you for dinner, thank you very much. And spat him back out, collecting 2 or 3 other cars, and well, that was his night done.
Yep, that's going to change how this championship plays out. It plays right into the hands of Berkeley, Robbie, and Goodger. The moment Goodger will probably be the biggest winner out of this in regards to the championship. James Robbie, Joel Berkeley also side by side, or nose to tail in regards to championship and positions in this race. So it's going to be a pretty close fight if they stay in this order. But it's not over. Lewis Hewitt wants to win this race. He's trying to work his way back through this championship as well after a fairly inconsistent championship so far for him.
Exactly, and at the moment there's 3 TTR cars in that top 5 you've got, as it stands as well. Hewitt, Maloney, Goodyear, Smith and Jordison. So TTR are nearly dominating the top 10 at the moment. I think all the cars are in the top 10 as pace truck is off and we are back under green.
Yeah, again another good jump from Lewis Hewitt. Jake Maloney now in 2nd position. It's Lachlan Smith up the inside, Jordison through. And have a look at Berkeley, the run that Berkeley got coming out of turn 2. That was incredible pace from Berkeley. He's going to get 2 spots. Yeah, with Lachlan Smith really slow in the middle. And contact between a few more cars. The 93 of Brad Cooper. We stay green though.
Oh, that's
Cameron Dance is up. Dance is up into 6th position. James Robbie's dropped all the way back to 8th. And Robbie now under a lot of pressure. He's going to lose a spot to James Rice. Lewis Hewitt, those checking out at the front. Brenton Hobson's making his way back through the field as well. He's just passed Gannon Sadler into 10th position, but at the front, it's TTL 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6 at the moment.
TTL dominating those top spots as Dance looked for a move on Jordison there. Might do it again. Here we go, turn 1. Gets a slide job. No, he won't. Oh, he was stall out as well. He might fall back into the hands of Rice. No, he doesn't. Again, take 2. Doesn't work. He's trying that low line, but you can see how slick that low line would be. But now Jordison tries that middle line. Dan's trying to get a drive off the top line into turn 4. As we now have 19 laps to go in this A main, and the yellow flag is out.
Yep. I think Brad Cooper was the car involved in an incident there, and he's already back in the pits. So we'll see if we can pick up what has caused that caution. Really going to come down to who's the most brave in the next little while to be able to get it right up against the wall and use that cushion, because it is very, very tough conditions out there at the moment. So caution come out because Cooper was stopped on the circuit and wasn't quite able to clear himself back to the pits in time. So now halfway through this race, Lewis Hewitt looking really, really strong, but Jock Goodger's just on that last flying lap set the fastest lap of the race. So Goodger looks strong as well from 3rd position, but Berkeley will be wanting to get another spot because he'll be wanting to get ahead of Goodger for championship points. If he can get ahead, that will give him more points than Goodger and close that gap to Goodger at the front of the championship.
Yeah, champion. What's one of the Scafie quotes? Championship implications right here is we've got, as we do, I do believe we've got 2 laps to go. Yeah, now we've got 1 to go. Under green as Maloney's in the pits.
Oh no, so that's disappointing for Jake Maloney. I'm wondering if he's forgot to put fuel in the car.
Yeah, he has. He's escaped out of the car, so...
Yeah, so that is heartbreaking for Maloney from second position. It leaves us with only 13 runners left in this race. Hewitt, Goodger, Berkeley, Jordison and Dance, your top 5. James Robbie is the one to watch here. He wants to get as many spots as he can to keep this championship fight alive and keep the TTL guys out of this championship lockdown at the front. Away we go. 15 laps remaining in this one.
Dance with the slide job on Jordison, doesn't work it out, but now they're side by side in turn 3. Sorry, Dance has got in front, but behind them it's 3 wide, a big 3 wide moment, but they're back together, and now Jordison looks, he wants that P4 again, but at the moment TTL 1, 2, 3 and 4, as all the cars are starting to go up and up the track even more. The slick is getting bigger, and that outside line is looking more promising of a run to get on your competitor.
Yep, James Rice on board with him at the moment and see if he can get a move done. He looks like he's got the pace, but have a look at the inside is James Robbie. He's trying to make something else work. He's been the most brave, going as low as I've seen anyone else go in this race. And Hobson just behind, big slide on his teammate in Daniel Gower. He's up in the 8th position. And James Rice just lost a spot to James Robbie. And Robbie, as I said, he's the one that's looking on a charge at the moment. At the front 3 have checked out from Dance, Hewitt, Goodger and Berkeley. But have a look at this pack behind Jordison. It is on.
It's on for young and old, and all at the moment. P5 will be the best any of these guys will do, because the 4 TTL cars up front are checking away from this pack. You got Jordison, Robbie, Hobson, Wright, you got Gow, and you've got Sadler just behind there. You know, have a look, seeing what's going to happen here soon. But Hobbo, really enticing, just taps Robbie, but keeps it going.
3 wide between Robbie, Rice and Gow. And a change of position for second, because here comes Berkeley looking to get moves done on his teammate. And this is for potentially the championship lead, as we've got big incident in the background. We're still green. There's contact between Hobson and Rice. Hobson's dropped back to 9th position. He and Sadler was still fighting it out. Darren Brumfield also in the pits now. So only 12 cars left remaining in this race. At the front, Hewitt is checking out. Goodger starting to get some pace back. But it's on still for 5th back. 6 laps to go. Here comes James Robbie around the outside.
Jordison says no thank you, but Robbie gets right on the inside. Jordison is in the wall. He's destroying the fence, but keeps it going. Robbie he's got a pretty big gap now back to Jordison, but I think Gow would be wanting that 6th position now as we speak, as the as Jordison. Gow's starting to catch up. Jordison couldn't get the run off out of turn 4. Gow's having a look.
Jordison's in trouble here. I think he's got a little bit of damage to his car after that contact with the wall, and he's down a little bit on pace. Here comes Gow. Big slide up the inside. He's going to get this done fairly easily here. Daniel Gow. Jordison comes to the inside. He won't be able to get the spot. 3 laps remaining in this race. And this has been a really long green flag run. At the front, though, it is on for the lead, because Hewitt has come into traffic. Goodger not too far behind. Berkeley's dropped off, but Hewitt is under pressure from Jock Goodger right now. White flag in the air. Last lap, Lewis Hewitt leads from Jock Goodger. John Berkeley's dropped off, but Hewitt is feeling some pressure from behind.
Exactly. The 3 TTL cars don't want to take themselves out of a good race position moment, but Lewis Hewitt on the wall, across the line.
Great job from Hewitt.
The A-main. With Jock Goodyer.
Oh, big crash. Back in the field, Dale Jordison and Daniel Gow. Jordison ends up on his wing. He will get back going, but Sadler gets through into 7th position. Daniel Gow finishes in 8th. Jordison 9th, and Brenton Hobson will come home in 10th position. I believe he is out of fuel.
That was a pretty entertaining their last half lap there for the guys down near the back of the running field, but I think it's time to run through tonight's overall results.
You can see the TTL drivers all lining up on the front straight to get a what will be a pretty cool photo with all of them on the front straight like that. But yeah, as you said, our race results are up on screen. Lewis Hewitt wins by 0.7 of a second in the end. Fairly dominant in the end. A great drive from him. Led every single lap of that race. Jock Goodgie in second with Joel Berkeley third. Cameron Dance in fourth position. 5 seconds behind Berkeley. A massive gap, those front three, to the rest of the field. James Robbie in fifth position. That will help his potential championship win as well. James Rice in sixth. Seventh position, Gavin Sadler. Daniel Gow in eighth. Dale Jordison ninth. And Brenton Hobson rounds out the top 10.
And then you got Scott Griffiths and Lachlan Smith rounding out your running field. And then your DNFs tonight, Darren Brunfield, Jake Maloney, Brad Cooper, Glenn Ince, Bailey Hall, Bob King. That's a big hit to his championship. And then Dylan Silliman and Trent Gosley run out your non-finishers.
It's been an amazing night of racing, and we'll go straight into the interviews straight away. Congratulations go to Lewis Hewitt on a very, very dominant win in the end. Lewis, you made it look easy. Was it as easy as it looked?
No, that was tough. That Eldora is a hard track to run when you have to stick it against the fence, and surviving 35 laps feels pretty good.
So it was looking like you were going to have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 there, but something happened to Jake Maloney. Any insight into what happened to him?
Yeah, unfortunately he just touched the wall when a caution came out and got a meatball from that. So, unfortunate for him. He was having a really strong race there. I was trying hard to get away from him, and I just couldn't pull away. But yeah, unfortunate with the meatball.
You've had a pretty up and down championship as it's gone on. Good to get a good result finally for you.
Yeah, it's been a lot of downs actually. This is the first one I've finished of I think 5 races now. So to get a win on the first one I finished feels pretty good, and I'm happy with that.
Oh, congratulations, mate. It's been a long time coming, and we'll let you thank who you need to thank.
Yeah, thank you. Yep, just thanks to you guys for the broadcast, Bob for organising the whole event, ASC. It's been a lot of fun to run, and thanks to TTL Esports as well, along with our supporters being Ash Media, Down Under Graphics, Hyper Stimulators, Tie Designs, Ultimate Dirt TV.
Congratulations to Lewis Hewitt on picking up the win in this round, the 5th round of the championship. Well done.
Thank you.
Go next to Jock Goodger in second position. Jock, a very, very interesting night for you. You were looking like you were going to be third, but obviously the misfortune to Maloney. But it was a tough race out there for you. Don't know if we've got you there, Jock. No? Try again. Let's try again. We got you this time, mate? No, it doesn't look like we've got you sorted. What we'll do, we'll go next to Joel Berkeley, and we'll keep working on Jock's microphone. Joel, congratulations on P3. Started in 8th position, got yourself up into a podium spot. Pretty dominant drive there. Wasn't as easy as it looked though. You had a fairly big fight in that first few laps.
No, it wasn't as easy as I would, but all I wanted to do tonight was finish, and well, thankfully got to finish, and yeah, come away third place, so good for the points all, and hopefully we can seal the deal in 2 weeks at Charlotte, I think, isn't it? I don't know.
Yeah, you got the dirt track at Charlotte in 2 weeks' time. It's going to be a pretty interesting fight between you and Jock, though. Jock will lead the championship coming into the last round, but it's very, very close between you two.
Yeah, it's very close between everyone at the front. I don't know how it's going to be panned out after this, but I'm sure we'll see afterwards. And yeah, it's always good to battle your teammates out to try and win a championship and to win races. But yeah, good job for everyone on the team tonight, apart from Maloney, but he did an excellent job before that.
Yeah, it was a pretty disappointing way for his night's end, but for the team, it's probably almost as perfect a night as you could get.
Yeah, it's almost as perfect as you get, but with Maloney, unfortunately, not running these as much, you don't know what the car does under yellow as much, and well, I think he just miscalculated there and got the wall, but he ran pretty solid before that. He's pretty fast, and I think he's keeping up with Lewis, and yeah, decent run by him.
Congratulations on a really good effort for tonight, mate. We better let you thank who you need to thank.
Yeah, thanks. Massive thanks to the guys at TTL Esports, Hyper Stimuli, Down to Graphics, Ash Media, Speedway Footage, Ultimate Dirt TV, Thigh Designs, Bob for organising it, Brett for admin tonight, and you guys for broadcasting the show.
Our pleasure. We've absolutely loved it. Thanks to Joel on a great effort. We've got Jock Goodger back in now. Congratulations, Jock, and leading the championship coming into the last round. Congratulations.
Oh, I didn't even know I was doing that, but yeah, that's pretty good then.
It's a pretty close I'm fairly sure it's very, very close, but we'll get that confirmed. A very, very entertaining night for you. You had a tough job out there. It didn't look. It looked easy once you got into a good spot, but it definitely wouldn't have been as easy as it looked. Tough track out there.
Yeah, like I'd struggle off the restarts. I just couldn't get my momentum going. But once my momentum was going, and I'd be able to hit every corner right. But then I know Lewis is just too strong. I do feel for Maloney. He was quick all night long, and yeah.
Go into the last round at Charlotte. How do you feel about your chances going there?
I don't know. Just got to try stay out of trouble is the main thing. Like it's just that's the hardest thing, and then just do good consecutive laps, just quick and stay out of trouble.
Well, good luck going into the final round, and we better let you thank who you need to thank.
Yeah, I just got to thank everyone at TTL Esports, Ultimate Dirt TV, Hyper Simulator, Hash Meter Footage, Down Under Graphics, Thigh Designs, Tune Suspension, and Brett for helping out tonight, and you guys for broadcasting.
So Jock Goodjet, second position. Corey, do we want to do fourth position? I don't think he deserves it. Camera Dance, you can have this one.
All right. So Cam Dance, you're finishing off the tirade of TTL car up the front. Was that didn't look like an easy feat tonight to complete?
Not sure. It did seem like it was probably going to be possible, especially with the pace that we had in the end. I didn't quite expect to finish in the top 4. I was actually more aiming for a top 10 or top 5, but yeah, to come away with fourth and make it a TTL 1, 2, 3, 4. Unfortunately, not quite a top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but better to have the top 4 than nothing at all. So yeah, pretty good effort by the boys all around.
Yeah, well, there's not really nothing else to talk about with TTL Tirade, so I better let you thank who you need to thank.
Well, obviously, all the boys have done it multiple times, but I'll do it again. Hyper Stimulator, Down Under Graphics, Thigh Designs, Ultimate Dirt TV, and obviously you guys at V8 Online for putting on a great show.
Well, Corey, it's been a thoroughly entertaining night. I've completely lost my voice, but that was well and truly worth it.
Exactly, like what I completed the last round at Knoxville. But yeah, it was a really great night of racing, really clean, respected racing by a lot of the guys. So it was I could say better than Knoxville, but Knoxville was as clean, I think, as Eldora. But going into the next round at Charlotte, the last round at Charlotte, very, very big championship implications for what I would guess the top 5 in the championship.
Yep, which will be in 2 weeks' time here on V8's Light Next broadcast. So we'll be on the iRacing Esports Network as we head to Laguna Seca for the Geodesic Racing Sprint Series Australasia. Friday night, we will have the Australian Online Supercar Championship brought to you by LeBlanc and Western Mazda from Monza. Sunday, V8 Scops at Monza as well on the iRacing Esports Network. Monday, we also have the V8s at Monza. Next Wednesday, Porsche Super Cup at Laguna. Next Sunday, we have majors as well as OEC. And as we said, in 2 weeks' time, we will be back here for this series at the final round at Charlotte. Until we see you then, thank you for tuning in, and it's goodbye for now.
3, 2, 1.
Last year I was sitting at a desk as a sales manager, and now I'm official McLaren F1 simulated test driver.
So there's 1.4 behind.
This opportunity is huge.
That's faster than the factory McLaren driver, and he's done 6 laps.